tonight for all of us in the campus of Kanulia PG Mahila Mahavidyalaya. We had an opportunity to organize this very much required awareness and sensitivity campaign. So first of all, I thank Shri Kalyan Kodwari ji that they have started this campaign of Yuva Bharat sustainability mobilization in young minds. So we are very honored that this campaign has been started from our college. So sir, on behalf of all student teachers of Kanulia College, very much thanks for teaching us. Sir is the inspiring personality, energy source for entire this program. I am witness that since last many days, 24/7, he is working for this program because we know inviting guests, especially ministers, is a very big task, and sir has did it, and minister will also join us within a short time. So I welcome you, sir, in this program and our gratitude to you. Then I am very much delighted to welcome Professor Sudhi Rajiv, Vice Chancellor, Haridev Joshi University. So ma'am is a little bit part of family for Kanulia College, but today we are welcoming you in capacity of chief guest for this sensitivity program organized by Bharat. Then we have with us very inspiring personality. How many of you have heard the name of Waterman? Please raise your hands. Waterman of India. So we are honored that today we have with us Shri Rajendra Singh ji, who is Waterman of India, and he has gone through many stories how he struggled for water resource in country, especially in Rajasthan, because he belongs to our state.
Very good morning, Namaskar. I'm very delighted to be here, and the overwhelming and also humbling experience to be here. We started this conversation with the principal ma'am 1 month back, probably with the idea that we'll register one student here and then we begin the campaign. But I'm very happy to report that today morning we got the first registration student from Kenya. So the movement is spreading much faster than we thought it would, and we're really delighted to have the support of key stakeholders from all sectors. When we started this Voice of Bharat, we worked on sustainability campaign. The idea was not to make journalists, the idea was not to make sustainability professionals. The idea was to mainstream the sustainability conversation in day-to-day life so that it becomes a part of the lifestyle. And the trigger was that all the younger generation, all the students, they are very good at digital media, they keep on generating lots of content. And we thought they could just get a bit of an orientation into sustainability issues. Probably they can integrate sustainability into what they're already doing and thereby launch a movement. And they picked up much faster than we thought it would. And it also aligns with the PM's national mission life, Panchamrit Zero, Net Zero target. So that way it's part of the national as well as the global movement actually. And what we expect to do is that we'll be orienting students on issues related to sustainability through webinars, workshops, conferences, this first inaugural conference like a week and through master classes. And in the process, we'll help them to enable them, provide one platform to generate digital content, which could be form of videos, podcasts, or simply shops. So those products will be produced by them, which will be finally assessed by a jury, and will also conduct another bigger event like this, where we will be supporting students with the prizes as well as further opportunities to engage with the companies who are supporting this. I'm very happy to report that we have best sustainability people in the country who have agreed to deliver master classes, the best global expert person agreed to deliver the webinars, and we are already partnering with around 20 universities and colleges from all over the country, and 10 of them are already I know they were listed there, who have already completed the formalities. So we will be going from campus to campus to spread the message. And we're also delighted to say that there are companies, also progressive companies like Distillery, like Utex, like Tetra Pak, and we also have Nature Conservancy there, which is a big international group. We also come forward to support us in this endeavor. And another company which is very progressively supporting this initiative is Blue Leaf Energy, which is present in Rajasthan and Bakery actually.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone who's present here, especially the August company I was chairing this class. Professor C.B. Ragni, Ravi Singh, Shri Tikku Saab, Shri Vedapati Saab, and Dr. Seema Bharat. And to be the first speaker is a privilege, because then you are not bound by the constraints and the limitations of a seminar. You can say anything that you wish to say, although Volga has given me a subject, women's participation in environment conversation. We have here the functionaries, the researchers, the visionaries who are working for environment. But if you go down history, women have always been the first to conserve culture and nature both. But the position has reversed today that we have to think of women's participation. They were the pioneers in as far as nature and culture, conserving that was concerned. The reason is that the idea of progress, the idea of development, the idea of progress and development, it all came from the West. And we have, in order to compete with the world, we have to follow that idea. And in that idea, especially as I said it earlier also, religion, especially in Bible, the Old Testament, Genesis of Old Testament, which tells you, this tells men to dominate nature. And this is from where the idea of development began, and initially it was how to tame nature. Everything that was done was to tame nature, right from industrialization to even modern technology, everything. You are all following the theories of nature, the practices of nature, but you are trying to dominate it. So this very idea came from the West, and with this came the idea.
A very good morning to the August gathering that is here this morning, and the smiling faces of people who received us made the day even more worthwhile. Respected Rajendra Singh ji, Kalyan Kothari sir, my friend Rashmi ji, Seema ji, Rajiv Tikku ji, respected K.L. Jain sir, Purushottam ji, Ganesh ji. I can see many faces, many friends in this group. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Kanodia Mahila Mahavidyalaya for their entry into the Diamond Jubilee. Many congratulations. You have upheld the traditions that were laid down by your founders. So friends, I'm here in spite of the fact that today is the first end semester examination at my campus. And I would have wanted to be there, but then sustainability is something that draws me, and Kanodia, Rajiv Tikku, Kalyan uncle, all these people are now a part of my family. I would also like to share with you before I begin that Haridev Joshi University has signed an MOU with Lok Seva Sansthan and Sustainability Karma that we will work together on this journey of sustainability. So दोस्तों मैं कुछ ऐसी बातों से अपनी बात कहना चाहूँगी क्योंकि हम सब राजेंद्र सिंह साहब को सुनने के लिए खड़े हैं, राइट? पर मैं कुछ चीजें जो हम जीवन में कर सकते हैं वो आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहूँगी। कनोडिया कॉलेज ने अभी गणेश जी के साथ जो बिस्लरी का काम किया, तो ये हमें बताता है कि किस तरह एक एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट लिविंग लैब हो सकती है फॉर द फॉस्टरिंग एंड मोटिवेशन ऑफ सस्टेनेबिलिटी। A big round of applause for Kanodia College for this initiative. Friends, I have grown up in Jaipur and it is a water scarce city. So मैं देखती थी कि मेरी माँ किस तरह, मैं आपसे कम से कम 20 साल 25 साल पहले की बात कर रही हूँ, कि किस तरह वो पानी के घड़े इकट्ठे करवा के रखा करती थी और उस पानी को यूज करने के लिए आई थिंक देयर वाज समथिंग लाइक अ रैशन इन हर माइंड कि इतना पानी यूज होगा क्योंकि पानी 2 दिन में।
कनोडिया कॉलेज को बधाई देता हूँ कि इनको समझ में आया कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी पर हमारी अगली पीढ़ी को संवाद करें, कुछ समझने की कोशिश करें। पर ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी वर्ड जो है ये अंग्रेजी का है और ये बहुत ही फैशनेबल जार्गन है जिसको फैशन में लोग रोज बोलते रहते हैं, पर व्यवहार में या सदाचार में ये दिखता नहीं है। सस्टेनेबिलिटी का यदि सही अर्थ समझने की कोशिश करें तो भारत में बहुत गहरा शब्द है, उसको कहते हैं सनातन। सनातन का मतलब होता है चरे वेती आदि अनंतः, जो चलता रहता है, जो करता रहता है, लेकिन उसका ना आदि होता है ना अंत होता है, वो चलता रहता है। सनातन का एक और सरल शब्द हमने निकाला है, सदैव नित्य नूतन निर्माण। जिस प्रक्रिया में होता हो वो बढ़ता नहीं है, वो खत्म नहीं होता। तो हमारे जीवन में यदि सनातन शब्द को हम थोड़ा समझ लें और उसको धार्मिक शब्द की तरह उपयोग ना करें, उसको धार्मिक शब्द ना बनाएं, उसका जो विज्ञान है, जो उसकी साइंटिफिक टोन है, उस साइंटिफिक टोन को समझने की कोशिश करें कि सनातन शब्द भारत में जिस काल में बना, क्या उस वक्त ये क्राइसिस थी जो आज है? ये क्राइसिस थी, ये काल में इस काल चक्र में होती रहती है। दोस्तों यदि हम इसको कौन सी चला रहा मेरे हाथ में तो यदि हमें इस सब को समझना है, तो सस्टेनेबिलिटी को समझना है, तो हमें अपने कर्म योग में समझना होगा, अपने व्यवहार में समझना होगा, अपने सदाचार में समझना होगा। जिसे आप शिक्षा कहते हैं, जो आपको शिक्षार्थी बनाता है, ये क्या करती है शिक्षा? ये हमें इस नेचर के साथ जितने भी डिसइंटीग्रेशन के काम होते हैं वो हम शिक्षा में सीखते हैं। हमारे जितने भी आर्किटेक्ट्स हैं, जितने भी इंजीनियर हैं, जितने भी टेक्नोक्रेट हैं, वो कदाचित नहीं सोचते कि जिस नेचर ने उनको बनाया है, जिन पंच तत्वों से हम बने हैं, उसको भारत के लोग भगवान कहते थे। भगवान का मतलब होता है वैसे भूमि, जैसे गगन, वैसे वायु, से अग्नि और नैसे नी, वे और ने। तो भारत के सदाचार में और व्यवहार में जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी है वो उसके व्यवहार में इनबिल्ट थी, लेकिन इस मॉडर्न एजुकेशन सिस्टम ने, खासकर वेस्टर्न एजुकेशन सिस्टम ने, वो जो हमारे व्यवहार की और सदाचार की गहराई थी उसको डिसइंटीग्रेट कर दिया, टुकड़ों में बांट दिया। साइंस अपने इलाके को रिचार्ज कर लिया और कुल 10% हमारी वाटर बॉडी बनी पहली बारिश में, लेकिन उसके कारण जो रिचार्ज हुआ वो एक बड़ी जमीन पर खेती होने लगी और उस खेती ने जो बदलाव लेके आए उसमें से बाइकों का भाई जल्दी से आगे चलो, एक कदम बढ़ो, आगे सब नहीं बढ़ा पाएंगे। देखो ये स्लाइड जरा देखो, बच्चे नहा रहे हैं। ये चंबल का है, रेड स्टोन में जो धौलपुर और करौली, जहां 150 फीट नीचे तक पानी नहीं था, जो हमने पानी का काम किया, 6332 डाकुओं की बंदूकें छुड़ा के उनको खेती के काम में लगा दिया। कैसे लगे वो खेती के काम में, क्योंकि अब वहां से पानी मिल गया। ये कुआं है 150 फीट गहरे तक सूखा था, आज धरती के ऊपर बह रहा है पानी, इसमें से निकल के। और ये एक कुएं की कहानी नहीं है, ये हजारों कुओं की कहानी है और 15,800 डैम की कहानी है। कोई एक कुएं में 6,332 डाकू बंदूक नहीं छोड़ते, और कोई 1-2 साल में नहीं छोड़ते, 50 साल लगे। नेक्स्ट, जरा जल्दी चलो आगे, 2 स्लाइड और दिखाने बस। सीमा बहन मुझे जरा 5-7 मिनट दे दो। हाँ चलो आगे चलो, आगे चलो, छोड़ दो साइंस को छोड़ दो, बस आगे चलो, छोड़ दो, और आगे, और आगे, और आगे, और आगे। कुएं में देख रही हो, वो केवल एक कुआं नहीं, अब हमारे सारे कुओं में धरती के बराबर पानी आ गया। वो एक कुएं की कहानी नहीं। नेक्स्ट 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 नेक्स्ट। देखो ये चित्र देखो, ये देखो, ये 1985 में 25 जनवरी का है। बस मैं आखिर में इतना कह दूं कि 2015 जब क्लाइमेट की डेफिनेशन में पूरी दुनिया में वाटर नहीं था, और मैंने 2009 में कहा था वाटर इज क्लाइमेट एंड क्लाइमेट इज वाटर। 2015 में पेरिस एग्रीमेंट में 65,000 लोगों को हमने पेरिस की सड़कों पर इकट्ठे करके आंदोलन किया था। 2 दिन आप देखेंगे, वो जो COP21 है उसको 2 दिन एक्सटेंड करना पड़ा सारी यूएन सर को और दुनिया की सब सरकारों को मिलकर, और फाइनली 2015 में पेरिस एग्रीमेंट में वाटर इज क्लाइमेट एंड क्लाइमेट इज वाटर आया। तो छोटा काम करना। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Good afternoon to everybody. Thanks a lot for staying back for the session. Really delighted to welcome Dr. K.S. Jain, President of
मंच पर विराजे हुए इस वार्तालाप में हिस्सेदारी भागीदारी निभाने वाले 2 भाई और 2 बहन, प्रथम तो मैं आभार व्यक्त करूंगा श्री गुरुनाथ जी का और श्री टिक्कू साहब का, क्योंकि आज विषय सामयिक है, उस पर चर्चा करने हेतु इसका आयोजन किया। प्रारंभ में मैंने भी आज राजस्थान चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री आपके इस महान कार्य के लिए सदैव तत्पर रहेगी। पूरा सहयोग जितना आपको वांछित सहयोग चाहिए, उस सहयोग की मैं प्रतिज्ञा करता हूँ। आप जब कर लीजिए जिस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए या अन्य किसी तरह कॉर्पोरेट को और सोशल SCR फंड्स के माध्यम से जैसा भी कुछ संभव हो, चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स सदैव आपके साथ रहेगा। प्रिय छात्रों, यहाँ के अध्यापक, मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सीमा जी को, रश्मि चतुर्वेदी जी को, इसका बहुत बड़ा रूप उन्होंने इसको किया है। प्रारंभ में जब ये कॉलेज शुरू हुआ था, कानूनिया जी चैरिटेबल से इसका उद्घाटन हुआ। उस वक्त बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स में उनके साथ अक्सर चलाता था, तो मैंने इसका मेन रूप भी देखा, और आज जो वृहद रूप है उसको देखकर मैं रश्मि जी को और सीमा जी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। और जिस प्रकार के परिणाम आते हैं उन परिणामों से आपकी विलक्षणता अध्यापन की और छात्रों की पढ़ने की जो अलग है, इसके प्रशंसा करता हूँ। इस विषय से संबंधित तीन चार बातें हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज के साथ साथ युवाओं को जोड़ना, उनके जॉब के लिए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम इस प्रकार होना, उसकी संरचना करना किस प्रकार संभव हो सकती है, कौन से वो क्षेत्र हैं जहाँ वो जुड़ सकते हैं। राजस्थान के संदर्भ में हमारे जो 10 सेक्टर्स है जिनमें का जुड़ाव संभव है, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, इंडिया is targeting 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel based capacity by 2030, solar, wind, hydropower.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear? I know we are back to our lunch, and everyone will shut up now. Where will I spend a few minutes? Distance? Bear with me for a few minutes. As I see this is about storytelling, so let me start with an anecdote in my own life. And very, very different from what you will hear you heard so far, or probably you will hear. I'm probably the black sheep here, the only business guy sitting among the sustainability professionals. But probably that's what you were looking forward to. So I was few months back in a social gathering. I was interacting with a few people, and everyone was asking, "What do you do?" Someone said, "I work for Microsoft, doing something big in AI." Someone said, "I work for Broadcom, making the next chip for AI." And I said that I'm saving the world, but making some money on the side. So the good news I want to share with you that today it is possible to make money and save the world. Of course, there are very great examples like Mr. Rajan was saying, who have really given 5 decades of their lives to do tremendous work. But let's look forward. What I'm sharing today is that all of us share the dream which our Prime Minister has shared to be a developed country by 2047. What does being a developed country mean? Being a developed country means that all of us, everyone in this country, has a reasonable or probably good standard of living. Being a developed country means that the income levels in our country have gone up significantly. But that would also mean that there is a lot of industrial activity which will come up. For getting to GDP growth, we need a lot of industrial and commercial activity. And all that industrial and commercial activity needs energy. Energy, the cleanest way of supplying energy is electricity because it does not pollute. We all know that many of the Indian cities have the notorious top 20 cities in the world to be most polluted. So we don't want to be there. But at the same time, today renewable energy technology has come a long way. We all know that generating electricity from solar and wind power is cost competitive. So if you didn't know, I'm just calling it loud. Generating electricity from wind and solar energy is cheaper than generating electricity.
Yes, the dais, after dais, students, press and others present here today. Very good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here today in Columbia University for this first Yuva Sustainability Conference. I have been attending many conferences related to sustainability, but I think first time I am listening about Yuva Sustainability Conclave or conference. I think it's the first step, two steps you are taking. Very congratulations as a speaker for taking this step. I will also congratulate the university who has also called me here and who are very important for change. Thank you so much, Principal Ma'am, for calling us here and all other dignitaries here. In fact, sustainability, when we speak about sustainability, there are lots of things to speak about. Morning, Rajendra Singh has spoken about the water part. Yes, he's been a waterman and he was talking speaking about water. And now we had speakers. He was speaking about various topics, like Dr. Dev was speaking about all the topics he has touched base. And also our friend here talked about the electronic sustainability of electronic system. So why do we need sustainable activities or sustainable things to be done? Reason is any resource we use, there is a limitation for the resource. So the resource needs to be used wisely and it needs to be replenished. That is the main agenda. Why we have a water scarcity? This means we don't have a water that can be coming continuously and can be used for coming generations. So now I just go to the subject of this green sustainable things. We as a company, we are working with lots of projects. One is on the plastics and water project. And for the plastics, we have been associated with this campus for the last 6 months. And we are happy to say that we are writing over 100 pages of plastics and we are sending it for recycling. The reason is why we operate waste management is a very important one. If the waste is not handled properly, responsibly, it will go to landfill and oceans, which will again have a climate change and climate. Like water for climate and climate for water, they want to discuss. Even waste is also a component for this climate change and climate. So every aspect, even there was discussions long back, even by the government of India.
Good afternoon. So I know it's been a very busy morning. We heard from a number of experts, but this is also the last session before lunch, so I'm going to keep it short. I'll start by asking everybody in the audience, the students, that what do you understand about packaging? About flexible packaging. I heard the principal man saying that, this bookcase over here is made of MLP waste, which is multi-layered plastic packaging waste. But in a layperson's words and understanding, what do you understand about packaging? Anybody in the audience? Okay, so packaging is the means of taking, essential items to the end consumer, right? So these days there is a lot of pushback from just about, anyone saying that, for example, plastic packaging or even PET bottles that we use to drink water out of should be banned. But we have to understand that plastic is there in our daily use more than we realize. I am also not from the packaging industry. I am all 3 years old with Uflex. It's the country's largest flexible packaging company. It's a $2 billion group. And I also took packaging for granted before I joined Uflex, right? So whether it's chips, it's biscuits, it's milk, it's juice, it comes to us in a packet. And we think that, it's just there. We don't understand what goes behind that and the responsibility of ensuring that if it is a farmer or if it is somebody who's growing that crop, right? Whether it's a potato, farmer, how does he or she ensure that that article reaches the end consumer, right? So instead of saying that all packaging is bad, multi-layered packaging is bad, plastic is bad, I think we need to start by appreciating that what will we do without packaging? Can we take milk to the remote areas in glass bottles? We used to do it at some point. We can't do it anymore, right? Because of our population. So if we start by understanding and appreciating that packaging is here to stay, but what can we do?
My topic is artistic communication versus digital. So I'm not here to make anyone of you a journalist or anything. We people are already making content. So, but my motive is that when you're making content, you should focus on sustainability now. Because we are at a point in our lives where the climate change is happening at a very fast pace, and we have also been relying on fossil fuels. So everybody has been talking about sustainable development from a very long time. But it was India who pioneered sustainable development with Mahatma Gandhi, articulating principles like trusteeship and limited consumption long before global initiatives, like the United Nations Houses and the multilateral development banks came into being. Swiss philosophy established an ethical framework for environmental stewardship that deeply resonates with modern sustainability. And then there was a series of conferences, books, and everything that came into being. So there was this famous book, some of you must have read it, 1962, Silent Spring. So in Silent Spring, Rachel Carson, she talks about the harmful effects of pesticides like DDT on wildlife and ecosystems, unethical practices by chemical companies, long-term environmental consequences of human actions. This publication marked a turning point in public awareness about environmental protection and became a catalyst for grassroots activism. So we now see a lot of people who are winning Padma Shri Awards and Padma Bhushan, and they have been working at the grassroots. And then came the final formal definition of sustainable development, which is 1987, the Bergman Report, in which sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future generations. So that was something that everybody has been focusing on. Then the sustainable development goals, which are due to end in 2030. So everybody started to focus on them, and there's 17 of them, and every company.
बड़े उद्योग के प्रतिनिधित्व द्वारा मशीनों की कलकलाती आवाज के साथ पर्यावरण के साथ कुछ चर्चाएं सुन रहे और मैं ये महसूस कर रहा था कि हर कोई बंदा अपनी कंपनी के बारे में आके बताना चाहता है कि इतने करोड़ की मेरी कंपनी है, हम ये कर रहे हैं, हम वो कर रहे हैं, हम पानी बनाने की कंपनी से मैं किसी पर्टिकुलर कंपनी का नाम नहीं ले रहा हूँ क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान में हजारों कंपनी है जो पैक वाटर बना रहे पानी की बोतल से, तो हम बना रहे हैं, हम उनको वापस ले रहे हैं रिसाइकिल करके, इससे हम जो भी पोल्यूशन जो हुआ प्लास्टिक का उसको रुक जाएगा। कितना % आप इसको करें? कोई कंपनी का बंदा बोलते तो हमारी जो पैकेजिंग जो हो रही है उससे इतना फायदा हो रहा है, किसान को बहुत लाभ हो रहा है, आज उसका सामान फॉरेन में कितना उसको पैसा मिलता है, ठीक है, लेकिन क्या उसके बिना हम नहीं कर रहे? जब आज से 20-30 साल पहले जब हमारे पास पैक वाटर या पैकिंग की फैसिलिटी थी तो शायद दुनिया इसी तरीके से चल रही थी, तो क्या इस तरह के उत्पाद बनाना जरूरी है कि उस पॉल्यूशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए फिर हमें एक खास तरह का प्रयास करना पड़े और वो भी खास उन लोगों के सहयोग से जो उस तरह का प्रोडक्ट बना रहा है। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा सिक्किम के यूथ को, क्योंकि आपने यूथ के बारे में पूछा कि उनकी पहल पर ठीक 3 दिन पहले वहां की गवर्नमेंट ने प्लास्टिक की बोतल को बैन कर दिया है। वहां अब 5 की बोतल मिलेगी, इसी में आपको पानी है, और जब प्लास्टिक नहीं था तो हम अपनी खुद की बोतल लेके चलते थे। मैंने हिंदुस्तान के बाहर भी कुछ देशों में काम किया है और वहां पर्यावरण पे किस तरह से काम होता है उसको देखा भी है, और राजस्थान के कई टूरिस्ट को मैंने रिक्वेस्ट की कि उसको हमारे यहाँ की लागू किया जाए। वहाँ एक नियम है कि हर घर के बाद एक पेड़ कंपल्सरी है। अगर आपका 100 गज का मकान है तो एक फ्रूट वाला पेड़ आपके घर के बाहर होना अनिवार्य है, नहीं तो आपके मकान की ऑनरशिप रद्द कर दी जाए। टेम्परेरी नहीं हो रहा कि भाई जब तक पेड़ बाबू से लगाओ तो आपको मिल जाएगा, वो गई तो गई, वापस कर दीजिएगा। 200 गज का मकान तो 300 गज है, तो मैं कानून को लागू होना क्या हम पर सख्ती करना अनिवार्य है? हम पर कभी कोई धंधा
करते हैं यहाँ, तो हो सकता है कि वो अपनी पर टेंट रहेगा, बोर्ड को देखकर से 1,01,000 पर टेंट रहेगा। इतना बोर्ड डालूंगा कि वो आपको किलो में मिले, खेलों में मिले। तो दिस all precious metals will be menaced, come to the and prosperity like earlier traditions went around the capture borders of the land, they would capture and they were super rich. अब वो तो हर कोना को देखती है, अब क्या बचाया मेरे सामने? स्पेस बचा हुआ, उसके लिए अपना 9,000 एस्ट्रॉइड्स को सारा का सारा मैप कर दिया कौन इस चीज का बना हुआ है, और उसकी माइनिंग अगर वो करते हैं शायद प्लास्टिक का यूज।
Very spacious answer actually. अभी मैं आपसे समय इजाजत दे रहा है कि बहुत ही कम समय बचा है, 5 मिनट बताए गए। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा कि एक खास युवाओं को संदेश, और सिंस मैं जैसे एक बार कि डिजिटल कंटेंट का जो स्पेस है उसमें लिए युवा बहुत लगातार आ रहे हैं, स्मार्टफोन पेनिट्रेशन लगातार बढ़ रहा है, क्या इंगेजिंग स्टोरी टेलिंग क्या हो सकती है, क्या इफेक्टिव स्टोरी टेलिंग हो सकती है एनवायरनमेंट को लेकर, सस्टेनेबिलिटी को लेकर, क्या
सेशन देने को जरूर एक सेमिनार का अहम हिस्सा होता है, परंतु सुनने वाले ज्यादातर थक जाते हैं और बहुत सारी बातें सुबह से हो रही होती है। इस सेशन में हमारे साथ के अंतर्गत कोठारी साहब, श्री कल्याण सिंह जी कोठारी साहब जो कि को कन्वीनर हैं वॉइस भारत युवा और सस्टेनेबिलिटी, श्री राजीव टिप्पू जी कॉलेज की प्रिंसिपल मैडम, और मीडिया का जो भी मैंने सेशन देखा वास्तव में बहुत अच्छे तरीके से चीजें सामने रखी गई। मैं ऐसे समय पर अपनी बात बहुत ही शॉर्ट में कहना चाहूंगा, बल्कि रादर कहना ही चाहूंगा बहुत ही लिमिटेड सेंस में। जब कभी भी हम बात सस्टेनेबिलिटी की करते हैं तो 3 R's रिड्यूस, रीयूज एंड रिसाइकल, ये सुबह से कहा जा रहा होगा, इसलिए मैं इसके ऊपर कोई बात नहीं कहना चाहता। फिर बात आती है प्रोडक्ट इनोवेशन, प्रोसेस इनोवेशन एंड सर्विस इनोवेशन। ये इनोवेशन वाली बातें जब हम पेटेंट, कॉपीराइट और रिसर्च के ऊपर बात करते हैं तो ये सब चीजें भी जब कभी भी हम एनवायरनमेंट की बात करेंगे तो इनके ऊपर बात अपने आप होती है। इसको बचाने के लिए प्रोडक्ट का क्या इनोवेशन होना चाहिए, प्रोसेस का किस प्रकार से इनोवेशन होना चाहिए, इस सारी चीजों पे होती है। बहुत सारे उदाहरण हम मीडिया वालों ने यहाँ रखे, उसको शॉर्ट में बताता हूँ, अपनी बात करूंगा कि स्टार्टअप एथर एनर्जी है, इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटर्स हैं, ब्लू स्मार्ट है, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल कंपनी है हमारे देश के अंतर्गत, फूल है। यदि आप जयपुर में एक रेस्टोरेंट में जाए वहां आपको दिखेगा फूल जो कि रिसाइकिल करके सारी बात है। एक ये जो क्या कहते हैं बैम्बो वाली बात भी बहुत ज्यादा आज सुबह अखबार में आई थी बात कि अब हमको किसी प्रकार से प्लास्टिक की बोतल में पानी नहीं पीना चाहिए, जहर पीना जा रहा है, जहर सप्लाई किया जा रहा है, तो बैम्बो के रूप में हम इस बात को कह सकते हैं। ऐसे जो ग्रोसरी डिलीवरी की जो है चेक इलेक्ट्रिक है, ये कुछ उदाहरण हो सकते हैं। जहाँ तक प्रोडक्ट की बात करें तो शॉपिंग बैग जो बैम्बो के क्या कहते हैं
On behalf of the organizers of the first Yuva Sustainability Conference 2025, it is my privilege to extend this global thanks for an inspiring inaugural session. We are profoundly honored by the presence of Shri Jaipur Singh, the Waterman of India and founder chairman of the Bharat, for delivering the keynote address to write our commitment to water conservation and community development. Environmental action is an inspiration to all of us. We also express our gratitude to the esteemed Vice Chancellors, Professor Arpana Mateja of University of Rajasthan, Professor Sudhi Rajiv of Haridev Joshi University of Journalism and Mass Communication for sharing your invaluable perspectives on education, skills and communication as catalysts for sustainability. We also extend heartfelt thanks to Dr. Rashmi Chaturvedi, Director, and Dr. Seema Agrawal, Principal, for setting such a positive tone for this conference. A special word of appreciation goes to Sri Rajiv Vikram, Sri Kalyan Singh Gurmani, convener and co-convener of Voices of Bharat, Yuva for Sustainability, for their vision in launching this pioneering initiative. We gratefully acknowledge their supporters, board sponsor, State International, Silver sponsor, Blue Leaf Energy, and our associate sponsors, Duplex Limited, Tetra Pak, Nature Conservancy India, as well as our industry internship partner, Rajasthan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for believing in the cause of nurturing the next generation of sustainability champions. We also thank our partner institutions, Central University of Kashmir, Haridev Joshi University of Journalism and Mass Communication, IIM University Institute of Event Management, Kanoria P. Mehta Mahavidyalaya, Miranda House University of Delhi, Vedic Teaching College and Vishwakarma Skills University. While some of our esteemed board members could not join us today, we remain grateful for their invaluable guidance and encouragement. We are equally thankful to our friends from the media for their unwavering support in amplifying this initiative. Last but by no means least, our heartfelt gratitude to the hundreds of students present here and online. A special mention to faculty and students from Kanoria P. Mahila Mahavidyalaya, JEC University, Manipal University, MIT University, Agrawal PG College, and Patrika Foundation. Your presence reflects the enthusiasm and commitment of youth towards sustainable change. Thank you all. Let us carry forward the spirit of sustainability, storytelling to inspire meaningful action and real change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But I think this science is incomplete without thanking our volunteers, student volunteers. So I would like to call them forward for a group photograph. Ma'am, could you please join? And I would also request my committee members to join the group photograph.
Thank you. India wants to become a developed country by 2047. That's the ambition our Prime Minister has kept. And I believe it's quite achievable. But that would mean tremendous economic growth over the next 22 years at around about 8% per annum. That economic growth would also require a lot of energy because industries need energy. Even data centers which fire the AI need a lot of energy. Now, how do we make sure that this energy is produced in a manner which does not make the environment any worse from where we already are? Climate change, we all know, is the biggest problem we have in our society today. And renewable energy is helping climate change, but at the same time enabling India to fuel the growth it needs and it deserves. India right now has about 50% of its electricity capacity, generation capacity at non-fossil, which is about 200 plus gigawatts. And the plan is to get to 500 gigawatts by 2030. And I believe it will become more than 2000 gigawatts in next 15 to 20 years. So renewable energy provides a perfect solution for a sustainable way of generating more electricity to help support the growth which India needs. Youth is a very important part of the picture. What we have been doing recently, especially with the sustainability karma, to really making the communication more widespread. We are very active at industry associations, but now what we are doing is that we are talking to public at large, and youth is very, very important there. We as a renewable energy company engage a lot with rural communities because most of our power generation plants come in rural areas. While we are generating clean energy, there is a huge impact because we acquire large tracts of land to set up our wind and solar projects. But we do it in a responsible manner. We have a dedicated community engagement manager who works with the community, understanding their needs and making sure that while we are setting our power projects, we are also creating programs for the community which help them deliver some of their key needs. When we are acquiring land, we are acquiring that in a responsible manner, we are paying the right price. But at the same time, we are engaging a lot with the schools, the colleges in the areas to basically provide them information and knowledge about the renewable energy, about skills in general. Right now, we are setting up a skill development center in our project in Madhya Pradesh, where we will be training the youth in various skills to make them employable. So engaging with youth is very core to us, and we will make sure that we are setting up the right kind of programs which not only help them get knowledge but also make them more employable to get the right kind of employment they need.
Bislery's greener industries which is been growing up day by day. Reason is there are lots of opportunities which is coming out with respect to the waste managements and sustainability managements for the corporates and the businesses. And also the government of India has mandated certain regulations with respect to the sustainability and the CSR activities which a company should do. Like I speak about the plastics, there is an extended producer responsibility by the Ministry of Environment Climate Change, which talks about the plastics. If a company is using a plastics, they need to collect back the quantum of plastics and send it for recycling. And also adding to that, the government has also added two more important aspects for plastics. One is the reuse target and the recycled content, which means the company, if they are having a packaging, they need to see how the plastic packaging is taken back and reused for a certain percentage. And recycling content is the packaging which is made out for packing their products should use a percentage of recycled content in that. So this all put together is going to become a big revolution or big sustainable revolution to say like, and there are lots of opportunities and scopes for the green jobs. So the green job, you see, when I talk about the waste management, definitely there are going to be lots of industries going to come out for processing all the waste and making into a useful products. Maybe it's a formal or informal sector. There is a huge chances of that. Second is also the corporates and the businesses needs to disclose their reports with respect to the green waste management and other aspects with respect to the sustainability in their reportings. So which is again going to create a big industries job opportunities for all the youths. So I really appreciate the efforts taken by Sustainability Karma and Yuva Sustainability Conclave, which is happening first time in the country. So it has been a great move and a brave move by Sustainability Karma, and I wish all the best for Sustainability Karma for doing a wonderful job.
So in
I think it's a great initiative and it's the need of the hour, because each one of us in the corporate sector have been doing our own bit in terms of associating, partnering and collaborating with the youth, either through school and college programs or through technical institutes such as the Indian Institute of Packaging in our case. But to have a nationwide movement where different corporations come together, civic players come together, the schools and colleges participate, will only increase the impact. And what we are not able to achieve on our own, we can definitely achieve if we work toward a common good. So I would like to congratulate everybody who's been a part of this, and we are glad to be supporting this movement.